I wanted to talk about, it's a favorite of mine, is the autonomous cars and bikes, self-driving cars. And again, reflecting on history here, Henry Ford once said that if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said horses. So that's an interesting thing that comes to mind. That oftentimes most people we really don't know what we need in the future, but amongst us, a few of them do, a few of us do, and those are the ones that build companies and build the next technologies and the next cutting edge research. So always we should challenge ourselves and think that there has to be a better possibility. So cars have run for hundreds of years, and finally now we have self-driving cars, and I have one of them, so I know the importance of an autonomous car. It's really safe, and so to me, it's almost like it makes no sense for us to drive cars anymore because as human beings, we are inefficient. We make mistakes. That's why we get into accidents. There are about close to 100,000 deaths that happen because of road accidents every year. But autonomous car technology prevents those. It prevents cars from crashing. So the world needs not only autonomous cars that Tesla has come up with in a big way, but we need to extend this to scooters and cycles and all vehicles. And it's just a matter of time. It will happen. And every vehicle in the road needs to be self-driving. So think about autonomous cycles. It should never lose its balance because I don't know. So maybe you have to change the center of gravity and manage it that way. An autonomous scooter should never skid. So that's what I think about when I think about self-driving car technology. That how will we build in the next decade? How will we take this technology that Tesla has built for the autopilot technology that makes cars self-driven? How do we extend that to cars and bikes so that a two-wheeler can be driven? Of course, you have to still hold the thing, but for the most part, it takes the even in a car, you have to still hold the steering, but for the most part, it takes the stress away from your driving because you're almost certain that you will have a crash. If there's something coming, the car will stop, or it will swerve, or it will slow down. And machines and there's so many sensors, so machines are more efficient in doing that, and they react quicker. So how do you develop sensors so that for bikes, so that if it's going to crash, then these brakes can be applied almost immediately? That would save a lot of accidents that happen in India inadvertently. So this is trend two. I think a lot is going to happen, and what Tesla has done is and that's the nature of innovation as to what the approach or the business model a particular company takes. But they have created a high-end version for maybe the one population out of the 7 billion. But we need to take this technology to the rest of the 6 billion, and it will happen, and companies will do it, and students and researchers like yourselves, if you develop such a technology, you should take it to the industry. And that would be when we bring these technologies that are catered only to a segment of population and we make them mainstream, that's really the power of technology changing lives. And that should be all of our goals.